What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back today with more Danmachi. Now, we've got, if you guys haven't, if this is your first anniversary, you may or may not be aware, but the heroic trial that we get here is generally for the anniversary units. That means you're going to get a free bond of each one of the anniversary units almost every single time. And that is awesome. That's one of the things that makes this game insanely free-to-play friendly. Now, the one thing you got to do here is, if you haven't done one of these before, and every video is somebody's first video, so we're going to cover it. Essentially, you've got four different levels: normal, hard, very hard, and EX. So the main thing you want to do is you want to build a team for EX, and you want to build yourself a skill flow. Now, in essence, you could basically easily make a skill flow by doing one manual run, and at the end of it, it's going to ask you to save your skill flow, and you can do that. I'll show you how to do that here in a moment. Now, team building wise, this is probably one of the easiest even heroic trials out there to really build a team for. Note it says it's gonna require thunder and or water, and I'm using last year's light team. So, what are we really looking at here? Well, let's go ahead and take our auto battle off real quick and discuss this, because really you could bring just about any number of teams. Most teams are going to annihilate this. Reason being, so you got two units here. Riveria, who is weak to thunder, but notice that I have reduced thunder resistance, but because I'm attacking with light attacks, I'm really just using that 20% down, plus whatever we do on the adventurer side to reduce that even more. So essentially what you want to do is just bring in your best element team and just do the appropriate amount of debuffing. Okay? When it comes to Bet is actually weak to water, so once again, it doesn't really matter. We're debuffing light. So, I'm going to make this real easy. On turn 1, I'm going to come in. I'm going to have Haruhime drop basically her main skill. That's going to give everybody SA charge and is going to give them a defensive buff. I don't think the defensive buff is really going to matter too much, but it is what it is. It's what we're going to do here. Then Bell is going to basically drop his main buff skill. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Why I always forget her name when we get into the heat of battle. Anyway, Fianna is going to such a horrible thing to forget, because she's literally like the deity of the Palums. But anyway, doesn't matter. She's going to do her third skill, which in essence is her main buff skill, and this Finn unit is going to do his second skill, which is once again essentially his main buff skill. Easy peasy. Not really that hard to kind of figure out. Now, in this case, for me, Haruhime is just going to kind of leave, and in will come Winnie. And then everybody's going to kind of continue their buff stack. Bell does skill 2. Now, Fianna doesn't have a second real buff skill, so to speak. So she's going to do her skill 3 and just go into her main attack. So is Finn, but Finn's got a whole other reason to do that. Nevertheless, you just kind of want to continue the buff stack. My Winnie's going to come in here, and she's just basically going to give everybody HP regen and reduce their single target damage. You really want to focus on single target damage here, because since you only have 2 foes, drop one early and then focus on the other one. And the real nice part is here, aside from what I have taken down, so anything in red is what I have reduced. So my light resistance is now down 60%. That is all work I've put in. Everything that's reduced on light is stuff I've reduced. Everything I've reduced on physical and magic is stuff I've reduced. So, physical and magic, they're all at 0 natively. The only thing that's weak on Riveria is thunder, down 20%, and same with Bet. Water down 20%. Everything else is pretty much just what I've put into these units with my adventure and my sys skills. So, turn 2. Kind of come in, continue that buff stack, and then I'm going to have Winnie leave, and I'm going to bring in Lazar. There's one really good reason why I'm bringing in Lazar, but it's not super important, and honestly, I'm going to be real, I don't think we're honestly going to get there. So, why is Winnie not backing? Oh, you know what? Winnie, this is going to be the sad reality. Winnie actually doesn't even have her swap anklet. I just happened to realize. So I'm not even... This will be funny, because I've auto-run this several times already with this team. I'm going to do something really silly here. I'm going to show you how easy this is to beat. Normally, Lazar would come in and just start wrecking house. He's just an insane powerhouse unit. But we're not going to get a chance to use him. Because unfortunately, I built this team wrong and Winnie doesn't have her swap anklet. So she's doing a base level attack. So in essence, she's kind of holding the team back in a way. But everybody else is going to go on to do their single target attacks, with the exception of Finn, who's doing his SA, because his SA hits really hard and it does some serious buffing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to target Riveria. Doesn't matter, I could target Riv, I could target Bet. Doesn't matter who I target here, but notice her health goes down significantly. And at the end of this turn, she is out. She is done. Now, on the rest of this turn, basically from this point on, we're just focusing on single targets. So all three here, Belle, Fianna, and Finn are all just doing single target attacks. Because Winnie, for whatever reason, has sloughed off her swap anklet, she's literally just sitting there doing a base level attack. So I want to emphasize, and this was not deliberate in any way, notice how quickly we just annihilated this event. And I was even down a unit. That means, honestly, even if Haruhime in the first run had not had her swap anklet, we still would have been in absolutely spectacular shape. This is such an easy event. So just bring whatever your best element is, rely on whatever buff or debuff you've got on that team, and you'll be pretty much good to go. I cannot imagine any modern element that is not going to annihilate this event. I just can't. Even like my worst elemental teams will destroy this and laugh at it. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to just run that over and over and over again. Oh, and I didn't show you how to set skill flow. So let's run this one more time. In fact, we'll just do a quick auto run and I'll show you here at the end. So, like I said, in essence, just whatever your best team is, bring it, they'll walk through it. It's going to be absolutely, unbelievably hilarious. But what you need to do is you need to run this just enough times that you have all 600 of your tickets. And once you have all 600 of your tickets, you're then going to have to go in and pick a bond. Now, that is really going to be part 2 of this discussion, because that bond is a very, very, very important takeaway here. It's the main reason that you're fighting this anyway. Because that bond is only a bond. You're not getting a free unit. All you're getting is an extra bond of that unit. I'll explain what I mean here. So let's get back over here for just 1 second. I'll show you skill flows if you haven't seen this already. But what I'm going to do, there's that big black button over here on the side to edit or save this battle skill flow. So if I click on that, it's going to come up with all this stuff right here. But what I can do is I can click save current skill flows. And what that's going to do is anything I did during that fight, it's automatically going to override. So notice that Lazar actually lost all of his. I don't necessarily want to do that, but it is what it is. It's not really a super important thing for my team, but like I said, it is what it is. So that's skill flow. So whatever you did, whatever team you built, and whatever whatever move set you used, just click this. I'm assuming it was successful, so click it, and it'll automatically then you can auto run this over and over and over again. The other option here, and this is really, really, really important, is if you have skip tickets, if you're like me and you get your daily skip tickets, just come down here, event skip, and I'm going to throw all 15, and I got no reason not to today. So let's see what 15 skip tickets gets us. It's probably going to do a little bit more than what I would need, but it's fine. So 15 skip tickets, and I'm at, oh jeez. Yeah, I should have done 10. 828 items. So then I'm going to go into the exchange here, and I need to make a choice. So I'm going to buy my red light, and I've got a tough choice ahead of me now. I have Bet or I have Riveria. The main thing you want to consider when you're really looking at this team, first and foremost, Bet is an AoE unit, which means that he hits every single person on the field. Bet essentially works for just about any event in this game. Reveria being single target is kind of Record Buster exclusive. Now, there are other events where she'll work, and when she does work, she's phenomenal. But you're going to get so much more traction with Bet. Bet is such a better unit just all around for general functionality purposes. So, Bet is my number 1 pick, Reveria is my number 2 pick. But then you got to ask yourself, okay, but what did I draw in the event? Because that's going to be the other really big factor here. So if I sort this down by Bet and Reveria units, and I've got to go ahead and find those two. Those are the kid units. Hold up. Where are they? Oh, there she is. Boom, boom. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this to party, and that's basically going to set it so, well, Bet is up here at the top. So this is my Bet unit that I haven't done anything with yet. Shame on me. But if I go into status board, he's got 4 bonds. So in essence, I need a 5th bond. So Bet is going to be a no-brainer. If with the free bond that's in that event, I'm going to maximum break this unit, and I'm going to be very happy all day. Now, here's the thing to consider. So we have Reveria here. My Reveria is +2, and in fact, I did actually put a star bond into her, knowing this whole thing, how it was going to play out. But nevertheless, she is +2. Now, if my Reveria was +4 and my Bet was +2, honestly, I would still probably argue Bet. The only way I wouldn't argue him over Reveria is if Reveria was +4, needed that last one, and Bet was level 60. I think that's the only honest situation in which I would recommend Reveria over Bet. But that's only because complete the unit and you'll be a little bit happier. Level 60 units don't tend to be, all that great. The more bonds you have in a unit, the better they're going to be, obviously all the way up to a full max limit break. But pretty easy stuff. Like, comment, share. I'll be back with more Danmachi for you guys here really, really soon.